Welcome to the You Decide podcast. I'm Dr. Tiffany. We are going to bring you stories of ordinary people who have chosen to live an extraordinary life, outside of their comfort zones and into confidence, possibility, and certainty. You are just one decision away from living your most aligned life, because let's get real, that's what we all want. Hello, friends. Thanks for joining me again. Today, the topic is anti. Are you for or against? Whatever it is. This idea came up from a few months back when somebody had mentioned to me that another person was questioning my affiliation with some situation because I was anti-medicine. Interesting. So then I started thinking, what else have I been accused of, or accused is maybe not the right word, but what have other people said that I am anti, aka against? And I started thinking, man, anti-medicine, anti-PT, anti-MD, anti-well baby visit, anti-vax, anti-social, anti-rules, and there's a whole list of other antis. I am not anti anything, but I am for some really strong things. And I like to position it as I am not anti-medicine, because there is absolutely a time or a place that we need to go to our local clinic or hospital. If you break a bone, if you have chronic disease, if you're in an accident, I mean, let's get real, guys. There's nothing that chiropractic can do about that. There's nothing that healing hands or healing heart can do about that in that moment. Crisis care is different. I am not anti-medicine, but when the body needs healing, I want it to be able to heal. I believe in healing. I believe in the body. I believe in life. I believe in no interference. I believe in innate intelligence. It's the inborn intelligence in us that we were born with. That is powerful. That needs no interference in order to work properly. No interference. That might mean medication. That might mean past trauma. That might mean surgeries. That might mean high stress. That might mean hormonal disorder. Whatever the case may be, anything that interferes with the inborn ability for that body to heal is going to create something of dis-ease. I am not against anti-medicine. Well, I didn't mean to say I am not against anti-medicine. I am not anti-med. But I am for healing in the body. I am for believing that the body is brilliant, and it's way better if it doesn't need that. It will work better if we don't reach into our medicine cabinet first. That doesn't mean that those choices are bad. So before, I don't know, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years ago, I would have been really pissed off hearing this, like, oh, how dare that person say something about me? Until I realized everybody has their own opinion, but what we stand for when they're further on the right and left continuum starts to clash. So when I say I believe that the body needs just no interference, and someone else believes that the body needs Nexium for heartburn, we're going to clash in our conversations and our belief systems. So I consider it kind of like being in a box, okay? So as we start to be called a name or questioned, or we start to feel insecure about how we think about something, or somebody says something that we kind of step back, all of those traumas put us into this box, okay, this big cardboard box that we can fit into. And pretty soon we start to hide more and more because we don't want to cause a scene. We don't want to disrupt harmony. We don't want to offend anyone. We don't want to embarrass anyone. We want the people that love us the most, to continue to love us the most and not create conflict. And you can just feel the energy of those words. And so pretty soon we start to hide, we start to retreat. You can imagine this like person that feels terrible about life sitting in the corner with their hands over their head. We'll just imagine that in a box, and pretty soon the flaps of the box close, right? And now it's like, wow, well, I guess we have borders, and I guess we're stuck in here, and it's dark all the time. So then nobody can actually see what you stand for and feel what you stand for and create this conflict in you. I urge, if you're there, to just bust open the freaking box. Move through your discomfort to stand for something. Because we don't need more people who stand against things. Anti-peace, anti-war, whatever we call it. Let's be for peace and not anti-war. Let's be for connection and anti-race. So imagine all of the things people have said or how you felt in certain situations that you started to retreat, that you started to want to move into the dark, that you started to step into the box. And finally that final blow was like, you know what? I'm just going to hang out here. I'm just going to hide here, because if I hide here, it's safer. The most unsafe place to be is in that box, in the dark, the flaps covering you, and you are hidden. Nobody can see you. We need to see your light. We need to see what you stand for. Get clear, be loud, start communicating who you are and what you stand for. I stand for life. I stand for love, connection, peace. I stand for innate intelligence. I stand for the body is brilliant. I don't ever want to dilute it. I don't want to have to take something. I don't want that to be my first stop, so that innate intelligence is dimmed. When that is dimmed, there is no way our brain and our body are working at 100%. So evaluate the steps backwards. Maybe you've had one step backwards and you've been like, well, I'm going to put my shield on today and I'm just going to keep on going forward, right? What are those things that put you in the box, and what do you need to bust out? Because, hey, life is worth it. You are worth it. Your voice matters. Figure out what you stand for and rise up.
Thank you so much for listening and being willing to go all in. Ditch the excuses and the comfort zones and make a decision that nothing can stop you. You can find the show notes below, and I'd love for you to share, subscribe, and rate this podcast, but only if you love it.